Hi everyone, welcome. This is Andrea Briceño. I am a senior mentor at another degree. In this beginner-friendly tutorial, I will show you some basic RStudio codes to conduct descriptive statistics and create graphs. In my example, I will be using some economic variables, such as the unemployment and inflation rates in the US in the last decade. These variables are just examples that you can replicate with the variables and topics that interest you. I will show you how to import Excel files, merge datasets, run descriptive statistics, create single graphs, and a graph that combines different variables so you can see how the variables behave over time. So thank you. For using RStudio, we need to install two programs, R and RStudio. So let's start with R. R is the programming language that performs the statistical analysis and calculations that we are going to conduct. R is a free software, so you can download R from the official R project website. Then click on the CRAN link and then select the country closest to you. For instance, if you are in the US, you could select any of these options. And after that, choose the appropriate version for your operating system. No, either you had Windows or Mac or Linux. Then just follow the installation steps using the default settings. Next, we need to install the RStudio, which is the environment where we write and run our code more easily. You can download RStudio from this website, deposit.co. Scroll to the free RStudio version that is here and select the installer that matches your operating system. Again, I am not going to do that because I already have the RStudio in my computer. And think about the difference between these two programs is that R is the engine and RStudio is the dashboard. Then, once both programs are installed, open RStudio and you're ready to begin working with data. Open RStudio, it is how our screen looks like. We usually see 4 windows or interfaces. In the top left area, we have the script editor where we write and save our codes. On the bottom left area, here we have the console where R displays our results, our outputs. In the top right area, we have the environment, which shows the datasets and variables we create or import during our analysis. And in the bottom right area, we have tabs such as plots, where graphs and visualizations appear, along with other useful tools like files and packages. Well, now we need to install some packages that allow us to run some descriptive statistics, create some graphs, analyze some relationships, etc. So you're going to type install packages. You open parentheses, quotation marks is very important, and you're going to type TIDY first. This will allow us to have some basic descriptive statistics. I'm going to put no because I already have it. I'm going to install the packages, the following package, that is PSYCH. always put close quotation marks, the parentheses. Now I'm going to install the package to read Excel files that in my example I am using Excel files, but if you are using another type of file, you need to install a different package. I will put no. My last package that I am going to install is the dplyr, which will allow me to create some graphs. I will put no. If, well, something important, if you see a warning about our tools, do not panic. In this case, the packages were still installed successfully, so don't worry about it. Right after we install the packages, we need to load the packages in our computer. So we're going to type library, and each of the packages that we created, in this case, TID, y bears, for instance, just enter. Our second package was PSYCH. Read Excel. And our last package is the package for graphs, that is dplyr. I'm sorry, I type it only. RStudio is really sensitive with the syntax. Okay, now we have installed the packages that we need in our computer. And again, if you see a warning about our tools, do not panic. Just download it and install it. Now I will import my two Excel files, one for unemployment, one for inflation. So I go here in the Windows, in the environment Windows, I click import data set, and as you see, it gives me different options. In this case, my files are in Excel, so I just click from Excel and I need to browse where my files are. So in my case, I have these in my desktop in Economic Data US. I will open unemployment first. I need to make sure that my first row is a name, right? So RStudio can read it. And you can see on my top left area now my data with the unemployment rate from 2016 until 2026 for the month of March. Now I need to import my second data set. I go to import data set from Excel, browse. Again, I look my folder. In this case, I name the folder economic data set, and I open the file inflation. I open that. Again, I make sure that my first row appears as name, and I just click there and I click import. Now you can see that I have like a second tab right on my top left area that shows me the column that in this case is the date, and the inflation rate. Again, from 2016, the month of January, until 2026, the month of March. This data, for those who are curious, I downloaded this data from the Bureau of Labor, but you can also find the data from the Federal Reserve economic data. So now I have import the data sets that we are going to use. If you see, both data sets have a date column, right? The unemployment data set in this case, and the inflation data set. This means will match I want to analyze both data sets, right? So I need to merge. Remember the other data sets using is from 2016 until 2026 that I have here, the month of March. So I will create a new variable. I will call it economic data. And I will use the code inner join, which is the code that we use in R to merge data. And I will select the data sets that I am going to merge. In this case, unemployment, 2016 to 2026. I type comma. After that, my second data set, that in this case is inflation, again from 2016 to 26. It is the names that I assigned to my files, comma, and I am going to tell R that I want that this merge is based on the date. So I click by equal date. Something very important in our studio, in any software, usually is that these softwares are really sensitive to the syntax. So you need to be very careful when typing the right variable, the commas, the parentheses, etc. And we just click enter. So you see now on my right window, right on the top, you will see that now our studio created a new data, right, that combines my two variables, unemployment and inflation, right, and it is organized by months, right, for both. So now, instead of having two separate data sets, now I have like a new data set that combines both variables. And I want to tell you that it is very common when you download data sets from public federal data sets, agencies, or any kind of source. Usually you need to create new variables or new data sets that combine different data. Now let's run some basic descriptive statistics. We could like type the command summary. We open parentheses and we select the data that we want to analyze. Let's say in this case, the new data set that I created, that is the economic data that combines both unemployment and inflation. So You see, this command provides a quick summary of the data set, including the minimum, the maximum, the mean, the median, and quartiles for each variable for unemployment and inflation, right? For instance, in our case, we can see that the minimum unemployment rate in this period of time is 3.4%. The maximum was the 14.8%. Similarly for inflation, right, we have that the minimum inflation was 1.2% and the maximum was 6.6%. Remember that the mean represents the average value, while the median represents the middle value of the distribution. If we want a more complete, comprehensive descriptive statistics table, we can use the describe command. We just type describe, we open parentheses, we select the data that we want to analyze. So this, you will see with this command, the describe code, we're going to see another descriptive statistics, like the standard deviation, the variance for each of our variables, right? For unemployment rate, right? We have the total number of observations, the mean, the standard deviation, the median, the range, the standard error, etc. If we want like a more kind of complete or comprehensive description. So for a more complete descriptive statistics table, we can use this command. Something important to know, this table, the last table that we created, provides a more detailed summary of the variables, for other useful statistics. Now, let's say that you don't want to have the total summary of statistics for all the variables, that you just are interested in a particular statistics. So it is kind of simple. You just type the statistics that you are interested. Let's say that you want to calculate the mean. You open a parentheses and you select the data set that you want to analyze, and then the dollars signal and the variable that you want to analyze particularly. So you just want, let's say, the mean for the unemployment rate in this period of time. No, just the output is this single one. And of course, it's similar with the mean that you got before. The same, right? You want, let's say, to know just the standard deviation for inflation. So you're going to type SD, open parentheses, you need to select the data. After that, you type the dollar sign and let's say inflation rate, and you just click enter. So remember that the standard deviation tells us how spread out the data is around the mean. So for instance, a low standard deviation, well, in this case, is kind of low, means the values stay relatively close to the average or to the mean, while a high standard deviation means the values fluctuate more widely around the mean. Now let's create a graph of unemployment rate over time and for inflation. Since we don't have too much time, I already created the code and I am going to copy paste here, but I will explain you quickly what this code is about. I am going like to use the code ggplot. I open parentheses and I select the data set that I am going to use. In this case is my economic data set that I created. Here I am telling RStudio that on my x-axis I'm going like to have the date information, and on the y line I'm going like to have the unemployment rate. The following is kind of the format that I want to give to the graph. So I want that the line is blue. I want that the title is U.S. unemployment rate. I could add 2016 to 2026. Again, I am telling R that on my x-axis, the name of the variable is date, and my y variable is unemployment rate. And I just click enter. If you can see on my right, I mean on the bottom right area, right, I can see the unemployment rate line from 2016 until 2026. The title, right, we could like see a kind of like a stable unemployment rate from 2016 until 2020, kind of descending, and after that it started increasing, which makes sense after the pandemic. Then you see that following the pandemic, the unemployment rate starts decreasing, right, until 2022. Then it's kind of stable from now. No, it's like the way of showing visually how a variable behaves. So let's say that we want to do the same for inflation. So again, I'm going like to copy, paste the code, which is time consuming. If I type everything, I just change the color of the line. But again, I'm going like to use the same code, ggplot. I open parentheses, I select the data that I'm going to analyze, in this case, economic data. On my x-axis is the same, the date, but in this case, my y-axis shows the inflation rate. I want now that the line is red. The title could be US inflation rate, and again, I could like add from 2016 to 2026. Again, the name of my variables for X date and for Y the inflation rate. And I just click enter. So now you can see my inflation rate, right? Over time, again, between 2016 and 2020, no, I will say that it's kind of stable, where it has like a kind of decrease before 2018. After the pandemic is a kind of ascending, right? They start like increasing, growing. After let's say 2022, right, there is like a kind of decrease on the inflation rate. No, for now. So now let's say that we want to analyze or to compare unemployment and inflation rate in a single graph, that they want like to analyze both together, no, at the same time. So it will gives us like a whole picture of our data. So again, I'm going like to copy paste code that I already prepared to save time. So let me just copy this code, but before I run, I will explain you that code in detail. So now I am telling R, I'm I'm going to create like a graph with the data that I had from the economic data set. The x-axis is the same for both variables, right? For unemployment and inflation, it is the 8. But in the y line, I am telling R that I want to combine unemployment rate, right, with a different color, and the inflation rate, right? And I am using for unemployment the blue one color, and from inflation the red color. Again, it is the kind of the format that I give to our US unemployment inflation rates. I could like add 2016 to 2026. The date, and for both variables is the rate. So it is kind of the format. You can like actually use the same standard format. You just need to change the variable names, of course the title, the data set, but it's kind of a standard. So I put like, I just click enter, and here you can see my both variables, right? You can see the blue line is the kind of unemployment rate, and the inflation rate is the kind of the red. So you can see like both lines, no? Well, this is like our final graph that combines both variables, unemployment and inflation rates. Unemployment and inflation are two central variables in any economic analysis. As some of you know, unemployment measures the percentage of people in the labor force who are looking for work but do not have a job yet. Inflation measures the increase in prices over time. In this data set, the correlationship is negative. This means that the higher the inflation, for instance, let's say here, is associated with a lower unemployment rate. And lower inflation, right, for instance, like here, is associated with higher unemployment. This relationship is often discussed through the Philip curve, which suggests that inflation and unemployment may have an inverse relationship, economically speaking. So why? Because when unemployment is low, let's say, for instance, here, it happened that more people are working, right? Households may spend more, demand increases, and prices may rise, right? But instead, when unemployment is high, let's say like here, right? Fewer people are working, the demand of goods and services may be weaker, and inflationary pressure may be lower, as we can see here. However, remember always that a correlation doesn't mean causation. No, inflation and unemployment are influenced by many factors, including interest rates, supply chains, energy prices, government policy, and global events. No. For instance, in this case, in our data set, the pandemic is a good example. No? During the early pandemic, unemployment increased, as you can see here with the blue line. Later, unemployment recovered, right? And inflation starts like increasing. Thank you for watching this beginner-friendly introduction to RStudio. Today we learned how to install R and RStudio, understand the RStudio interface, import Excel datasets, merge data, run descriptive statistics, create some visualizations, and explore the relationship between unemployment and inflation using real economic data. There are foundational tools that can be applied to many topics in economics, public policy, business, and social science research. I hope this tutorial helped you feel more comfortable and confident using RStudio for data analysis Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the future tutorials.